The second course is on the history of Venice, history from the origins of the city till today. And the course will cover a wide series of topics, but be concerned in particular with the setting in which it was built, in which the city, in which Venice was built. Venice was built on wetlands in an area with a lot of rivers and with very low land and subject to sea transgression and also floods from the rivers themselves. So it's a border between fresh water and salty water, and the city was surrounded by salty water. And we shall look at this element here and look at why Venetians had to live here, had to go and face a lot of investments, extra special investments, such as building thousands of wells, of cisterns, underground cisterns, to collect fresh water to provide with drinks, with drinkable water, the inhabitants. We shall also look at how the lagoon was formed, what is a lagoon, and why the inhabitants, when they started to find it a bit tougher to live here because of floods, they decided to remain and try to manage the environment. This is what makes Venice interesting place, is that it anticipated somehow environmental management, the concept of sustainability, and we have already since quite early in the history of Venice, laws, regulations, institutions which took care in safeguarding and managing the environment. In a certain way, the lagoon is not a natural environment, it's an environment which was stabilized by human intervention, which entailed also heavy public works such as diversion of rivers, construction of seawalls against the storms, against the erosion of estuary islands. So the element of environment, which has also affected the style of government of Venetian, and in a way also cohesion, social cohesion in the city, will be one of the main themes of the course. A course which will continue also to deal with dealing also with modern time. I mean, nearly half of the course will be dedicated to 19th and 20th century Venetian history, with the idea of safeguarding a historic place and also facing the challenge of today's climate change and raising sea level. Another element which will be very important in the course is the relationship between Venice and the East, which partly explains also why the refugees came to the Adriatic coast, why the refugees from Roman cities of Veneto came to the Adriatic coast to seek refuge. Venice was a city born inside a Byzantine province, so very much a Western city, very much projected towards the Eastern Mediterranean, and it will be thanks to this special relation with the Byzantine Empire that the city became a trade hub between Northern Europe and Germany in particular, and the Byzantine lands. Thanks to this role, and thanks to the role of policemen in the Adriatic on behalf of the Byzantine Empire, Venice managed to build a small empire in the Eastern Mediterranean, even participating with a major role in the conquest of Constantinople during the Fourth Crusade. Now, we shall also analyze how this relation with the East continues today in a way as an aspiration, but also the port which somehow came back at an important level after the construction of the Marittima station in the 1880s. It still now has a lot of relation with the Far East, and we shall analyze the development of the port. So it's a history of Venice, which will analyze politics, environment, and society, trying to find a relation between these points. It's a history which gives as much as importance to Venice today, to modern Venice, as much as ancient Venice. The course will involve visits to the ghetto, to the Ducal Palace, and to the port and the MOSE, the mobile dams, which are in the process of being built to defend Venice from the high tides. The course, in the course, I will expect students to do one oral presentation and also participate in writing a text, an account of contemporary Venice in group, an account which will be published by the magazine Venezia News. The students are also expected to to submit a final research paper. A movie series will run every Monday and will show 1 week a movie about Italian history and 1 week about Venice. So you will have the opportunity to watch Death in Venice by Luchino Visconti and for example, Comfort for Strangers, Don't Look Back. So horror movies, romantic movies, also movies which attempt to reconstruct ancient Venice, ancient Venetian history. The classes will be interactive. I will try to provide you with songs, the text of songs which we shall analyze, and also images. I really hope those of you who will participate in the course will enjoy it as much as I will enjoy teaching. I mean, not only history of Venice, but also Italian contemporary history. Bye-bye.